Numerals are the symbols that we use to represent numbers, and we take them for granted. We use them every day, but we really take them for granted. If we want to define what we call a numeration system is just any system that consists of a set of numerals or symbols, and then a scheme or rule for combining those to represent numbers. In a tally system, using physical objects, you could have scratch marks on a stick or in the soil or on a stone, notches on a stick, pebbles, knots on a vine. Those were probably some of the earliest methods of recording numbers. One of the early systems is the ancient Egyptian system, and that's the system we're going to look at first here out of several. So this is an example of what we call an additive system, one in which the number represented by a particular set of numerals or symbols is simply just the sum of the values of those numerals. So we have here a vertical staff, which is just almost like a tally mark. We have the heel bone, the scroll, the lotus flower, the pointing finger, the pollywog or burbot, and then I love this one, the astonished man. I feel like he's astonished because that number is just so big. So if we wanted to, for example, in our system, write this number is 764, and we want to write that as an Egyptian numeral. We would start with the hundreds and say, well, we have 700, and in the Egyptian system, 100 is represented with a scroll. So to do 700, I would just add 100 7 times. So I would basically do 7 scrolls. And I'm not looking for beautiful drawings on these, as long as I can tell which symbol you meant for it to be, and it doesn't look like one of the other symbols, then that's just fine. So there's my 7 scrolls. And then 60 would be the number 10 6 times. So I would have 6 heel bones. And you just do it like this, where it's just all one line left to right. And then 4 vertical staffs. So that's 764. And then with all the number systems that we will look at, we're going to go both directions. Just like if you were taking a Spanish class, you would learn to translate English to Spanish, but then you'd also learn Spanish to English. So we're going to do that here as well. So if we look at this number and we want to write that, we would look and say, well, we'll start with 2 polywogs. So that would be 100,000 2 times, which is 200,000, right? And if you want to, you could even write these and then add them all up. Or I could just keep track of like, hey, I need a 2 in the 100,000s place. And then I have 3 lotus flowers, so that's 3,000. So I don't have any pointing fingers, so I would have like 0 in the 10,000s place. But then I would have 3 in the thousands place. And then I don't have any scrolls, so that means I would have a 0 in the hundreds place. I've got 3 heel bones, so that's 30, and then 4 staffs. So this is the number 203,034. So this is a fun example. I really like the symbols in the Egyptian system. It would be a fun activity to do with students to kind of incorporate a little art or a little history in with your number systems.